The Nebraska Cornhuskers edged out the Cincinnati Bearcats 20-17 at Gayha Field at Arrowhead Stadium in a season opener that exposed the stark contrast between athletic prowess and coaching acumen. Nebraska's roster, bolstered by high-profile transfers and a veteran offensive line, held a marginal edge in athleticism, enabling them to build a 13-3 halftime lead and secure a narrow victory. However, Cincinnati's head coach Scott Satterfield outmaneuvered Nebraska's Matt Rhule with superior second-half adjustments, nearly overturning a double-digit deficit. Nebraska's coaching staff, characterized by verbose rhetoric and inadequate strategy, failed to adapt, relying on individual athletic performances and a critical Cincinnati error, a poorly chosen fade route on the final play, to escape defeat. This article contends that Nebraska's triumph was a product of athletic superiority and fortunate circumstances, not coaching competence, as Cincinnati's strategic adjustments revealed Rhule's staff as tactically deficient. Nebraska's roster showcased standout athletes who drove their early dominance. Quarterback Dylan Rhule, a highly touted sophomore, completed 33 of 42 passes for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns, demonstrating precision with a 78.6% completion rate. His mobility, though underutilized, complemented an offensive line featuring transfers like Rocco Spindler and Elijah Pritchett, who provided size and agility to support running back Emmett Johnson's 108 yards on 25 carries. Receivers Dane Key and Nizia Hunter, both transfers with proven speed, exploited Cincinnati's depleted secondary, with Hunter scoring on a 5-yard pass in the second quarter and a 75-yard touchdown in the third. Defensively, Nebraska's secondary, led by Malcolm Hartzog and Vincent Shavers, showcased superior athleticism, with Shavers forcing a fumble and Hartzog sealing the game with an interception. Nebraska's 39:30 possession time, compared to Cincinnati's 20:30, reflected their ability to control the game through physical superiority, particularly in the first half, where they built a 10-point lead with a 12-play, 65-yard field goal drive and a touchdown after a fumble recovery. Cincinnati's athletic profile, while formidable in spots, was less robust. Quarterback Brendan Sorsby, a dual-threat standout, rushed for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 33-yard run on a 75-yard touchdown drive in the third quarter. However, their passing game was crippled, managing only 69 yards due to the loss of 5 top receivers. Defensive tackle Dante Corleone disrupted Nebraska's run game early, but Cincinnati's secondary lacked the speed to match Nebraska's receivers. Despite these limitations, Cincinnati's second-half performance under Satterfield demonstrated tactical superiority. Satterfield increased offensive tempo, catching Nebraska's defense unprepared and enabling 141 rushing yards at 7.8 yards per carry. Sorsby's mobility overwhelmed Nebraska's porous run defense, which allowed 202 total rushing yards. Defensively, Cincinnati tightened coverage, limiting Rhule to shorter completions and forcing a 3-and-out and a punt. These adjustments shifted momentum, with Cincinnati outscoring Nebraska 14-7 in the second half and outgaining them 180-156, positioning them for a potential upset on their final 55-yard drive to Nebraska's 20-yard line. Nebraska's coaching staff, led by Rhule and offensive coordinator Dana Holgorsen, was thoroughly outclassed. Rhule's third-year expectations, based on successful tenures at Temple and Baylor, were unmet, as Nebraska's performance was described as rough and uninspiring. The offense produced only 353 yards and 20 points despite 78 plays, far below Holgorsen's air raid expectations. Rhule's high completion rate masked first-half underthrows and missed downfield reads, such as overlooking Hunter on a post route, limiting explosiveness to one 75-yard touchdown. Scoring opportunities were squandered, including a first-quarter field goal after a penalty pushed them back from Cincinnati's 25, a third-quarter field goal at the 1-yard line after a false start, and punts from the 32 and 35 due to stalled drives. Defensively, Nebraska allowed 141 rushing yards in the second half, with no adjustments to counter Cincinnati's tempo or Sorsby's mobility. Rhule's sideline demeanor, marked by animated yelling at referees, contrasted with Satterfield's focused adjustments, reinforcing critiques of a staff prone to buzzwords over strategy. The game's climax underscored Nebraska's reliance on luck. Cincinnati's final drive reached Nebraska's 20 with 34 seconds left, poised to tie with a field goal or win with a touchdown. Satterfield's decision to call a fade route to a slot receiver in a crowded end zone was a critical error, with a success probability of 20 to 30% due to multiple defenders. Hartzog's interception handed Nebraska the victory, as safer options like short passes or runs could have set up a score. This blunder negated Cincinnati's superior second-half strategy, which exposed Nebraska's coaching deficiencies. Despite comparable overall ability, Nebraska's 353 yards to Cincinnati's 271, with strengths in passing and rushing, respectively. The game could have gone either way. Nebraska's athletic edge in skill positions and line play enabled their early lead and survival, but their coaching staff's failure to adapt nearly cost them the game. Cincinnati's strategic adjustments deserved victory, but Satterfield's final play called gifted Nebraska an undeserved win, affirming that Rhule's team prevailed through talent and fortune, not tactical prowess. In conclusion, Nebraska's 20-17 victory over Cincinnati was a testament to their slight athletic superiority, not coaching competence. Raiola's precision, the offensive line's dominance, and Hartzog's interception compensated for Rhule's tactical shortcomings. Cincinnati's second-half resurgence, driven by Satterfield's adjustments, exposed Nebraska's stagnation, but a misguided fade route handed the Huskers the win. This outcome underscores a broader critique. Rhule's staff, reliant on rhetoric and athleticism, was outcoached by a Cincinnati team that maximized its limited roster. Nebraska's triumph was fortunate, not earned, highlighting the need for strategic improvement as they face tougher Big Ten challenges.